चलेगा ना, उस साइड पे करेगा, वो ऐसा दिख नहीं रहा है। तो ऐसे भी वहीं पे कर देंगे ना, ऐसे भी वहीं पे स्विच आया चलेगा ना। हाँ, इसकी स्विच ये पोडियम ओके है ना। हाँ यहीं पे स्विच को कर दिया बस, तो फिर अभी नहीं आता और नहीं हटानी पोडियम नहीं हटाना।
$195 billion, hosting around 17 million tourists annually. Single window immigration clearance powered by Digital India. 21 international airports. Biggest rail network in Asia. Multi-lane highways. Hundreds of luxury properties. World Heritage Sites. More than 500 wildlife and bird sanctuaries. A coastline of 7,500 kilometers. Encouraging niche tourism products like cruise, adventure, wellness, medical tourism, golf and polo, ecotourism, and film tourism. Promoting sustainable tourism and green energy. Earning potential of $488 billion by 2020. Open to 100% FDI. Indian tourism, an investment in the future.
Incredible India. Welcome to the pride of India, the mystical and magical Northeast. Home to the dawn-lit mountains, the gateway to Northeast India. Halfway to heaven. The jewel of incredible India. The peaceful paradise. Where earth smiles. Land of festivals. Where culture meets nature. Rich culture, heritage, music and tastes. The wildest adventures. A spiritual pilgrimage. The dream destination, Northeast India. Incredible India.
India, a global destination for sustainable tourism. Where the government is empowering people to take up responsible tourism as a mission. Encouraging nature-friendly tourism products.
Good evening, friends. Very warm welcome to all of you. That's fine. You can continue to grab a cup of tea as we settle down to begin this very special event to welcome each one of you, not just to the UK, but to India House. So let's set the tone for this evening by first inviting a very brilliant performer. He's one of UK's top British Indian saxophonists. Anybody who loves music? There should be every hand up in the air. right? So today we have the privilege of having with us Pavan Verma. As I said, he's one of UK's top saxophone players. He has performed in front of the late Queen. He's performed in front of Shah Rukh Khan. But I think today might be his toughest audience. It's very hard to please people your age. So let's see how Pavan gets on with all of you. Presenting Pavan Verma. That was Pavan Verma. And I think if it's good enough for the Queen and for SRK, how did you guys rate him? Yes. I'd love for our friends who are hiding behind ICICI Bank to join us up front so we can begin the formal part of this evening. Can you hear me at the back? Hello, friends. Am I audible at the back? Please wave. Okay. Audible at the back now? Can I have some waves? Right. Okay, some very reluctant waving is happening. Thank you everyone for joining us here on a Friday evening. It's such a joy, it's such a great privilege really to have you here as part of our growing community. Moving to a new country is both exciting and it's challenging, and we want to assure you that you're not alone in this journey. The UK offers a wonderful blend of opportunities, of experiences, and we are confident that you'll make lifelong memories here. You've chosen to study in a country rich in history and culture and opportunity, and we are sure that you'll find it both inspiring and welcoming. But this evening, friends, this evening is to welcome you and to remind you that you have a community of support in us, both from fellow students, you can make new friends this evening, and from those who have walked this path before you. So huge welcome, and now it's my great honor to invite the High Commissioner of India, Mr. Vikram Doraiswamy, to make his keynote address to you. And before we invite High Commissioner, here is a small video of the High Commission's outreach to students to give you an idea of how we can help you in the year ahead. Thank you. Can we play the video, please? And now, friends, let's hear from the man himself, the High Commissioner of India, Mr. Vikram Doraiswamy.
Thank you, Sarah, and ladies and gentlemen, and I suppose I'm old enough to say boys and girls, a warm welcome to all of you at your house, India House in London. To those of you watching us from away, do I need that and this? Okay. All right, fair enough. So much for technology. So to those of you who are watching us from far away, I know it's a challenge. It's not close enough for you to have made it here, but we want all of you to feel part of this collective of our students as part of the broader student family that's here in the UK, and to be able to tell all of you, all of the young people who've come here to the UK for their studies, a warm welcome on this chilly day. And put it this way, your duaein, your good wishes, your enthusiasm even made the rain go away. I can tell you we are really relieved, because fitting all of you in, nearly 600 of you into the building, would have been a huge challenge. We would have really had to struggle to have everybody in. I know when you look at all of this and you look at the gray hair on some of the speakers, certainly mine, you might be wondering, are you here to listen to Dad's lecture one more time? I'm sure your dads have given you all these lectures, but that's not the point of this exercise. The point of this exercise is essentially to give you some thoughts as you start your student journey here, no matter if it's at your undergrad level or your postgrad level, what you should really be thinking about doing out here. And I know this, you've got this message when you've come from home, but there are some thoughts that, since we live here and we've seen generations of students go past us, what we'd like to share with you. And we've got a range of interesting speakers for you to interact with, so I won't take long. The first thought I wanted to leave with you is there is a history and a legacy that you actually are part of. Going back almost 100 years, indeed 100 years, and a bit more, the generation that came here as the first and second generations of Indian students to come here and study were the ones who went back and contributed to both India's freedom and the task of rebuilding India. And that was remarkably a period of such great unity that it didn't matter whether people were on the left of the spectrum or the right of the spectrum as far as politics went. They all believed in one thing, which was to be able to contribute back. And in your own way, what you will do when you finish your studies is exactly that. And I have the greatest confidence in your generation, in your ability to be innovative, think of new ideas, new ways of being part of the larger India story. And I want to tell you, we are empathetic, sympathetic, and supportive of your dreams. And to the extent we can, we would love to see you go back home and succeed as much as you can. That is a great message. And honestly, we think you are really primed to be able to lead India in a whole new direction. The second message I wanted to suggest to you is, of course, that this is an interesting, different country that perhaps you're familiar with popular culture, etc. But it is an opportunity for you to go beyond your comfort zone. So do look at this as an opportunity to be part of whatever is around you. Embrace something that looks new, a sport, a cultural thing that looks interesting. The history of this country, its museums, its art, whatever it is that makes it interesting to you. This is your chance to do something that you wouldn't have done back home. So do that. I mean, do that as long as it's legal. You know, I don't want your parents screaming at me later. Second, remember who you are and where you came from. That is your identity. That's what makes you different. And that should be your secret sauce or your magic potion to take you forward in what is frankly a much more competitive, much more level global playing field. You are going to be competing against the best young people out there, but you are inheritors of an ancient civilization, and you are from a country that is 1.5 billion strong. You will know how to compete and get there. God knows you've competed to get here. I'm sure you'll be able to compete on an equal footing and to show what you're made of. But do it by showing who you are and where you came from. And third, essentially, the chance for you to take advantage of your learnings here and the global world that we live in, and to see what is the niche that you can occupy when you go back to India. I think that's a really interesting part of the opportunity, of the piece that you might want to take with you for your research, for your further studies, or for creating a new business, whatever it is that is of interest to you. That piece, I think, is really, really, really important. More seriously, I do want to tell you a couple of things, which here's the dad bit coming in. One, remember, you're not alone out here. There is, apart from all of you, and there is about 600 of you here to catch up with, in every one of our university towns, we have an Indian student community. We also generally have an Indian community. So please remember, no matter how tough sometimes the struggle might be, never feel that you're alone. We want you to recognize that there are support mechanisms and you must be there for each other. Much as we would like to, and we would do our best to be able to support you, we can only be sort of like, you know, if you're much younger generation, but the old generation of Bollywood movies, the police would always come in at the last bit, at the last reel. We are kind of like that. We will be there in an emergency, but we're not there on a daily basis to support you. So what we do need you to do is to be there for each other, link up with communities, and be proactive in thinking about what your challenges are and how you need to face them. And lastly, in extremis, in difficult circumstances, in other words, don't forget to reach out to us back home, because this is important. Your families, every supporting infrastructure that has sent you here is invested in the idea of your success and your safety. Never forget that, and never forget who you are, where you came from, or what makes you proud to be who you are. For me, that's being Indian, and I'm sure that is for all of you. Jai Hind.
Thank you, High Commissioner. And can I just add that we've all observed that High Commissioner has the same energy and focus in driving and executing the most complex bilateral agreement or deal as he has when he speaks to young people. So that's really quite rare, and I'm delighted that so many of you are here this evening to dip into this opportunity and just the pleasure of being part of this family, the India House family. Now, I just want to ask you, how many of us are still converting from pounds to rupees when we're buying a cup of coffee? How many are not? There's the really rich ones. Oh, great. I need to have dinner with you, lady. Okay, excellent. So this brings us to our it sounds a bit dry, but I think your parents would love to see that you're all paying attention to this part of the evening, because, by the way, you are on YouTube Live. So I think your mom and dad might be watching to see if you've worn your thermal vests this evening. But for many of you, this is the first time you're fully in charge, or you think you are in control of your finances, whether it's budgeting for rent, handling your student loans, or deciding how much to spend on a weekend night out. I'm very happy to tell you that today's dinner and refreshments are on the house. Obviously, it's family. But here's the thing. Being financially smart isn't about restricting yourself, always thinking that, oh my God, this was in 500 rupees, so I can't spend 4.5 quid. It's about empowering yourself with information. It's about making informed choices today that give you more freedom tomorrow. So learning how to handle your money wisely will not only keep you out of debt and calling up mom and dad in an embarrassed way at the end of the week, but also get you out of the trap of constantly converting everything to rupees and then foregoing on this or that opportunity or date. So to make this more informative, let's dive into practical ways that you can take control of your money, control of your wallet, avoid common pitfalls, and set yourself up for success, both as a student and beyond. Because financial literacy is something that, or the lack of it is a pitfall that might, plague us through life. So I'd like to invite Mr. Gaurav Arora. He's the business head for ICICI Bank, and who hopefully will shed some light, and I think we can all benefit from it. But let's give him a huge round of applause. Thank you, Gaurav. Let's check your news.
Thank you. Guys, my name is Arup Anand. Gaurav Arora was here, but he had to rush back. He was not keeping well. I represent ICICI Bank UK, and I'm very happy to welcome all of you on behalf of ICICI Bank and in collaboration with the High Commission of India here. We understand that most of you are new to this country and you would need a banking partner to support you in your journey here, because most of the economy here is mostly cashless, so you'll need to have a bank account and a debit card. Some of you would have already opened a bank account with us in India and would have received the debit card. For the rest of you, we're more than happy to help you in your account opening. We understand that you would not have a financial footprint here in this country, so BRP is more than enough, and we give you some time in order to be able to generate a utility bill and then submit it to us. We also help you in cross-border money movement, so money coming in from India to the UK or vice versa, so we are here to support you. Any sort of a financial requirement that you have with respect to your UK banking, please feel free to reach out to us. We have a presence of 10 branches here in the UK. We are also present digitally. We have a call center, and you can also write back to us. Thank you for your attention, and we have a short video showing our offerings. That's okay. Can we have the short video, please? Thank you.
Can you hear me at the back? Sorry, didn't mean to shriek. Thank you, Arup, for standing in for Gaurav. There's more information at the ICI kiosk just to my right. And before we move on to the next part of this evening, I want to remind you that there are quite a few lovely surprises waiting for us as the Friday night unfolds, including some really cool merch from Universal Music. You've heard of Universal Music? Yes? Can you hear me out the back? Hi, can you guys hear me at the back? Okay, it's great to be backbenchers, but if you can't hear me, you'll miss out on some really interesting information. And signed merch from Rajasthan Royals. These are the Lucky Dip prizes that we'll announce later this evening. And huddled up in many layers on the front row is this very, can I call you a youth icon, or you're pushing 40 now? Okay, pushing 40 icon. The wonderful comedian and really thought leader in many ways, Rohan Joshi. So, and that'll be a little later because we do leave the best for the last, which is not to say that the more serious parts, so cream rises to the top. So High Commissioner just reminded me that I might have committed a diplomatic faux pas here. But so we'll come to Rohan Joshi at the end, along with our exciting merch and the cool gifts, and of course your free supper that we'll all enjoy together as a family. But we do want to concentrate on some of the really serious things that will help you this year and the next while you navigate your journey. And we come to internships because they're crucial, because they provide real world experience and they help you explore careers and develop both technical and soft skills. We are delighted to have with us this evening Jonathan Badial from Universal Music UK. And I want to also add that Jonathan was formerly a Westminster policy advisor. He worked with the Department for Digital, Culture, Media and Sport, advising on British culture and the digital economy. And so he can give you an insight, if you catch him later, into how government works as well. So presenting Jonathan Badial to tell us something about internships and working in the UK.
Thank you. Can everybody hear me? Yes, thank you. Yeah, so my name's Jonathan Badial. I'm Director of Communications for Universal Music. You stole my line, but I wanted to ask, does everybody know who Universal are? If you've heard of Universal, put your hand up just so I can have a sense. Oh, okay, good. So, as you will know, we're the world's largest music company. We employ around 12,000 people globally, with around 1,200 in the UK alone. And we work with some of the world's greatest artists, from Sam Smith, the Beatles, Stormzy, Taylor Swift, and many more. So why am I here today? One of the things I'm working at in my day job is trying to improve the number of people with Indian heritage working at our company. I'm also looking at how we can do more to take our UK artists to the Indian market. And as the host mentioned, my journey to Universal Music was not a typical one. Growing up in a British Asian family, it might not surprise you to hear that growing up, I wanted to be a doctor. How many people today are studying medicine, just for a sense? Okay, quite a few. But as you said, I ended up working in politics for 5 years, advising the Minister for Creative Industries and Digital Economy, and also working on 2 general election campaigns. It was there I was headhunted to come and work for Universal Music, and I've been here for the last 7 years. The High Commissioner kindly visited our offices in King's Cross, just about 25 minutes away from here, a few weeks ago, and we discussed many things, not least his encyclopedic knowledge of jazz music. But we also discussed how we can work together to attract more Indian students into the music industry and to Universal Music. And when the High Commissioner told me about this event, he assured me that you're the brightest and best students the UK has to offer. And that's very much why I'm here today, to give you a very quick overview of the kinds of opportunities available at our company. So I've got this very plain but hopefully informative slide which gives you an idea of some of the roles we hire for Universal. So the more traditional positions like legal and finance, marketing and communications, data insights to influencer strategy, and the odd comedian. The internship scheme, which I'd love you all to apply for, is fantastic. It's an industry leader. We became the first major creative company in the UK to pay our interns about 15 years ago. And we now welcome anything between 50 to 60 interns every year in all of the departments that you can see on the screen. The important thing to know is we recruit all year round, so we don't just have one cohort. All of our vacancies can be found on umusic.com. And it's actually a very important thing to know, and it's something we're very proud at Universal. The vast majority of people who do the internship go on to get a full-time job either at Universal Music or in the wider creative industries. And most people ask me when applying for Universal Music, we can get anything between 500 to 1,000 applicants for every job. But the most important thing we're looking for is a demonstrable passion for music. And it always surprises me how many people apply for our jobs without mentioning the word music on their CV or application letter. So if working in our industry is something that appeals to you, have a think about how you can gain experience, which you can add to your CV. Being at university, there's many opportunities, whether it's musical societies, whether you're performers yourself, or whether you can help a friend who might be an artist develop their career. In the coming months, we'll also be launching a graduate scheme. I know the High Commissioner would like you to return to India, but I would love some of you to stay here and work for our fantastic company. So I do hope this gives you a flavor of what you can do at our company. It is a fantastic place to work. It's hugely creative, and I can't commend it enough. And I must say, a lot of people don't recognize this. The creative industries in the UK are worth 150 billion euros. And it's the fastest growing part in our economy. So a lot of people think the creative industries are just a soft, kind of nice thing to do, but we'd like to say we're a serious business that creates jobs and drives creativity and the economy in this country. So I'm going to be around for the rest of the evening. If anybody is interested in working at Universal, come and find me. My email address is on the screen. I'll always reply to your emails and invite any of you here to the office if you'd like to come and have a look around. And finally, thank you to the High Commissioner and his amazing team for putting on this event. Having worked in government, I know how difficult and stressful it is, but to see a great turnout, I'm very honored to be here. So thank you very much.
Jonathan, thank you very much. Volume. Can I just ask if High Commissioner visited your offices asking for an internship as well? Okay. Can I just say what a rare opportunity this is? You have somebody from Universal Music saying, here's my email. I promise to look at my inbox. Please write to me. Please visit. How many of you have saved the email? I hope you guys have. Great. That's super. Just another expert this evening who's spared some time to share insights into recruitments and internships. Now we have Kanishk Misal, who's a business leader with about 22 years experience in transformation and business innovation. Kanishk has worked at TCS and now he heads the Cube, which is an employment and Gen AI skills focused platform. He's also founded Infinity Global, which challenged the recruitment landscape in the UK because they placed about 5,000 undiscovered talents into digital roles. So here's Kanishk Misal telling us all about how you can apply for internships and build a portfolio that makes your time in the UK productive and fruitful. Thanks.
Hello, hi, good evening, everyone. Can you hear me? Great, thank you. Thank you, Your Excellency, for having us here, your team. I must say I've been here for 13 years. I've visited many events at the embassy, but this is actually wow. I think I feel proud that this isn't done in style, and you feel like you're a proud Indian when you walk in. And I'm sure you guys are seeing it firsthand too. I'm not going to do a death by PowerPoint. The purpose of my session here, sorry. Hello?
Death by PowerPoint.
Death by, yeah. Hopefully not a death by PowerPoint. I'm here to talk to you about something what I call rehearse the future. So everyone has asked me over the last 20 years of my work, and I've had extensive work with Boston Consulting Group, TCS, the White House, other government organizations, will I lose my job with AI? And my answer to that question is very simple. If you embrace AI, you will be able to save your job compared to someone who doesn't. So that's literally what's the kind of dimension. I am Kanishk Misal in a little bit more detail. I must say, I have done so many talks everywhere, but the first 60 seconds, I'm still nervous. So one of the things I learned, which was a secret, was to actually say it out in the open when you start your first ever open session. I'd just like to go to the next slide. Oh, sorry. So I'm not going to tell you everything about my career here. I'm not going to waste my time because you're all millennials and next gen. So you guys have probably can LinkedIn search my entire profile. But what I'm going to share with you are 3 things that I have learned in the last about 20 years of working in 7 different countries. The number 1, Be yourself. And that's something that I understood much later in my life. And I must say, this is the second time in my entire life in a public open forum, I have gone and said that I'm gay. And it was a transformation for me. But the moment I did this 10 years ago, my career trajectory changed. And I became a lot more confident, and my whole career path was a different path. So I'm not saying anybody needs to come out or do anything here, but be who you are, whether you are from your own country. Thank you. Be proud of being who you are, your color, your race, your city, wherever you're from. Learn to remember that's who you are as number one. So that's this first thing. The second thing I'd like to share with you is try and reach out. Make an effort to contact people. When I did my second startup after Tata Consultancy Services, where I was a managing director for 15 God years, my God, that corporate world was a totally different realm. My first startup, which was called Infinity Global, I wrote an email to President Biden directly, and everyone laughed at me across my entire company, my team. They said, President Biden is going to reach out and speak to you. Are you joking? 6 months later, nothing happened. 18 months later, nothing happened. 3 years later, I bumped into one of the senators, and they were very confident. They said, oh, we are here with Indians. We want to help you. So I said, I did write to your president, but he didn't respond. 4 days later, I got a call, and I met the chief of staff in Washington, D.C. Hello? So even what the ambassador said here, reach out to people. Reach out to people like me here on the ground. We've been here for 13 years. Reach out to anyone that you can. Don't hesitate. Last night, I wrote to Mark Zuckerberg. Let's see what happens, but do it. It's worth it. So that's the second point. The third one is find your purpose. You'll be shocked. I was 41. I'm 42 now. Well, I still count myself as an official millennial, but it's like a little borderline. But that's the one. Try and start finding your purpose. And the purpose is not the Range Rover. The purpose is not a house. The purpose is not the kid going to college. What is your purpose of why you're here? Are you here to help people? Are you going to make a difference to society? If you start finding what that makes a little difference to your life, that will align your career. And yes, of course, keep high goals. Once your purpose is set, from there on, everything else will fall back one by one. And this is another interesting incident that happened to me last year. I randomly visited McLeodganj, and there was a box kept outside where you had to put a purpose in. And I wrote down, I want to put 1 million people into work through my new Cube program. No connections, no pull, as it happens in India in many cases. Next day morning, I got a call. His Holiness the Dalai Lama met me. I mean, it was random and bizarre. And when I walked in, I asked him, and I had a zillion questions, but strangely, when you're standing in front of him, he's sitting on a chair, and I walked in and asked him, I said, Your Holiness, I have a question. Can I create pathways to eliminate poverty? He says yes and no. Yes, first was yes and no. And then he says, let me remember the exact words. He says, you create the knowledge of the heart and the mind. The children will create their own pathway. Once they create the pathway, that's the inner intelligence awakening up. And that's the fundamental reason why corporate careers and corporate programs are failing. Because each one of us, including me at TCS, assumed that everybody had to be a vice president. So that's the corporate path. But that has changed today. The next generation is looking at different careers. They're doing 3 different gigs. And what I'm going to share with you a little bit ahead over here. Sorry. Oh, shit. These are always the most confusing. So what I'm going to share with you here is the whole technology evolution that's happened. I have taken permission from White House to present this to this forum here. But this, don't worry about the content here. But what I want to share with you is that's when the internet started. ChatGPT is enrolling about 100 million new users every 2 months. That's the fundamental change that's happening over here. This is what you need to observe. It's not a chatbot. This journey from here, the internet to internet protocol, internet things, it took 20 years. From cognitive systems, robotics, to your smart cars, 10 years, 5 years, 3 years, and now we are somewhere here at this point where we have AI coming in. And you can imagine the transformation from here that they're talking about. These are things like human-machine convergence. Will we have a machine inside our body? And those are the kind of things that are likely to happen. So and I was asked when I was coming here, what would I like to share? whichever career path that you're in, whether you're a biotechnologist, whether you're a chemistry, whether you're in sciences, arts, please appreciate that data and the world of IT is going to impact every sector. So make an effort to try and learn something while you're doing this. I'm sure many of you have Spotify. You have seen the AI platform that's got launched into your app. Everyone has a personal DJ today. That's the change, what AI is bringing in. Do you know that 50 million people around the world are content creators already? And that's a whole new industry that didn't exist. The pay structure here is higher than McKinsey and BCG. So that's the difference that you might want to explore if you're looking at careers. Another important element, 65%, this is the BCG data point, 65% of our children, including mine, will be in a career that today does not exist by 2030. So those jobs don't exist. Those payrolls, those structures of data analyst, senior engineer does not exist today. And that's what's going to happen in the next about a few years. So if you can start embracing the impact of technology, that's my one suggestion. And I will leave you with this little bit of thought in terms of what are the 5 things, because I have worked in the recruitment sector. And by the way, I had no idea of recruitment in my life. So I built a startup in recruitment, came from tech, never worked in skilling, and sold that business. So it is possible if you want to do something different. The first one is, whenever you get a bit of time, please start reading a bit about regulations. You will be asked in your interview programs in 2 to 3 years from now, when you sit in front of leaders, do you understand GDPR compliance? Do you understand EU regulations? Spend half an hour. These programs are all free. They're approved by Microsoft. You can log in on any system. So there's no excuse literally today for any of us because it's all free. Microsoft, Google, Amazon, all 3, including Salesforce also now, is offering free training programs. So that's the first one. A lot of people fail their interview tests here. The second one, be aware of personalized frauds. That is going to impact all of us. The third one, the mix between the virtual and the physical world. And your generation particularly, please be aware that the whole transformation, this is one of the fundamental questions that we were asked in one of our conferences in US, was the highest consumption of pornography in the world today is not in the younger generation. It's in the age group of 55 and plus. So the impact of that on society in general, that's the physical and the real world. So make an effort to meet people, go out, spend some time, talk to someone. Because if you stop doing that, then you will be lost in your virtual world. And the last 2 things, please be aware, anything you post on social media from today or in wherever you are is being tracked by every corporate organization. So you are a social profile, start building that persona from day one. Please be careful, wherever you are, whatever you're writing is being tracked in some way or the other. The applications, the systems that we use for recruitment, pick up that information and flag it off directly to us. So wherever you are, you're on a world stage. And so that's one of the last points that I want to share with you. And I leave you with something small that my father, mother taught me. They come from an army background. Be dressed for the occasion. Wherever you go, be smartly turned out, be aligned to the messaging of where you're going. So that's that one little last piece that I'd like to leave you with. My website, email, everything is here. km@thecube.world. We offer internships. We connect with every large corporate in the country. And we're also doing this in India in a very big way now. So my goal is to put 1 million people into work by 2027. Let's hope it happens. And I hope all of you can help me to get there. So thanks, guys. Nice speaking to you all. Thank you.
Kanish, thank you so much. Just a quick question. I know we all missing our families. Most of you have just come a few days, a few weeks ago. Is anybody brave enough to tell me how they cope on an evening that they're feeling really miserable and missing mom, dad, friend, boyfriend? You're young. Come on. You come here. You're young enough to sprint up. What's your name? Rida?
Hello, everyone. I'm Rida. I'm pursuing a master's in microbiology at UCL. So for your question, I mostly spend time in networking and socializing with friends or exploring London. There's so much to do in London. There's so...
How do you perk yourself up when you're feeling sad?
So I open my Google map and I find the nearest galleries or museums or shopping areas or cafes. And I don't book an Uber, I actually walk till there. And I go with the name of completing 9,000 steps. And I just want to keep myself busy because I don't know if I'll ever get this opportunity to be in London ever again. So I want to make the most of it. I mean, it is easier to sulk in your room, but it's difficult to actually, be brave enough to get out there and, I don't know, beat your sulking and anxiety.
Thank you, Rita. That was very brave of you. But there are some days that you don't feel brave enough to be yourself and you don't feel brave enough to walk to the nearest gallery. And of course, it's okay to feel that, but we can't always share that with friends. And we might need to unpack issues around mental health, anxieties, and stress before they turn into something that needs more serious intervention. We're very lucky to have with us this evening Dr. Nischint Variku. Of course, a better name cannot be created for somebody who's a clinical psychiatrist, Nischint. So he's a distinguished mental health expert who's helped countless students like you and adults develop effective coping strategies and to improve their overall well-being. He's passionate about promoting mental health awareness. And not only will he share some insights with us this evening, but I'm sure you can reach out to him privately later because, of course, we understand that things to do with depression, sadness, missing our family is not something that's easy to share or unpack. So please, a very warm welcome to Dr. Nischint Variku, and you're very welcome to reach out to him later this evening as well. Thank you.
Hello, can you hear me? Yes. So my name is Nischint Variku. Some of you might understand Nischint, no worries. So I try to be best of that. I'm a consultant psychiatrist. I work with Oxford Health. I'm from India. I did my graduation in India, then spent 5 years in the Indian Navy and then came over here for the training. What I want to talk about, first of all, I'd like to thank the High Commissioner for giving us the chance to talk here. I work with Sangeet Foundation, and we got our founder here as well. Do you want to come up here? Jayant would talk briefly about Sangeet Foundation. Just a quick.
Thank you, Nischint. Good evening, friends. So essentially, Sangeet Foundation is a mental health charity. You are wondering what is Sangeet and mental health got to do with each other. So Sangeet Foundation is about creating awareness about mental health and neurodiversity using music and the arts for the South Asian diaspora within the UK. That's the remit. And this is based on my personal journey and my daughter who's past your stage already, and she graduated from Oxford, but she suffers from acute ADHD, and which is why, and she got help from music, which is why we formed that. So the next slide. Okay. So this is who we are. Our vision is to create a networking platform for the South Asian diaspora, and this is somewhere you can reach out to as well. We work with various people to work on that. And our values are better together, making a difference, relentless, and always available. So our spirit animal is a guide dog to be there to be able to guide you through the process. And I'll hand over the mic to Nischint. Like I said, he's our advisor, mental health advisor. And later on, we'll have Rano Bhuyan, who will share his experiences after Nischint is done. Thank you.
Thank you, Jayant. So what we're going to talk about is the challenges that students face when they come to this country or any different country. I have been a student long time back, but I have faced similar challenges. So first we'll talk about the challenges. We'll also then talk about the effect those challenges can have on the mental health. And then we'll talk about the support networks that are already here, which you can access. So starting with challenges that you might face. So we can start with the cultural challenge. You're coming to a different culture, and every time we move to a different culture, First of all, there is a bit of honeymoon period. You are seeing new place. Then there is a bit of frustration because it's not the same as your own country, as your own culture. Then there's an adjustment phase and then an acceptance phase. So that's one thing. Second is there's different social norms. So you will notice that every culture has its different social norms, and you might notice that you might need to adjust to that. It takes some getting used to. Simple things like politeness. When I came here, I was in my office and I said to someone, "Can you pass this to me?" And they felt I was being not very polite because they expect me to say, "Can you pass this to me, please?" So those small things that we need to kind of get used to. The next one is language. Now, most of you speak English, but if you come to UK and think you know English, no, you don't. Not that it's much better here or in other country, it's different here. The simple example is what is a coat in India is called jacket here. What is an overcoat in India is called a coat here. Now, the most funny one is what is dinner in India? That's the main meal you have at night. It can be lunch in some parts of UK, what we call lunch, and it can be tea in some parts of UK. So getting adjusted to those language differences is another challenge. The next one is academic differences. I won't go into that. You will probably learn that in the university. Next one, I move on to the social integration. You're coming to this country, you might have friends, you might not have friends. It takes time to make friends. And while you're doing that, there is a period when you'll feel very lonely. You might also have social anxiety. As I said, it's different society. It's not the same as home. So that takes getting used to. Financial stress, well, cost of living is much higher here. You might have already noticed that. And then most of you might have a job as well while you are studying, which is not usual at back home. Means we didn't work while we were studying. Either we worked or we studied, but here you'll be doing both. So balancing that would take a lot of, would put pressure on you. So that's another thing that might cause a problem. Then the weather and lifestyle. As we're seeing already, the days are getting shorter. In India, and most of the parts of India, you have longer days, and shorter days can have an effect on your mood. There is something called seasonal affective disorder. That just means in winter, people feel more sad. So those are the things you might come across. Now moving on to the next slide. So why are we talking about all these things? This is because these things can have an impact on your mental health. Some of you possibly might have mental health difficulties, some might not. And the ones who have mental health difficulties, this might affect them more. But what all of these things can do is they can cause more stress, they can cause anxiety, they can lead to low mood like depression, emotional reactions. So lots of these things which we usually don't talk about, but these happen to us. Anxiety is something that lots of people don't even know they're anxious, but they can be. So those are the effects they can cause. I was also going to talk about low self-esteem because again, you're in a new culture, you're getting used to it, you're learning new things that might feel like you don't know enough. It's not that you don't know enough, it's just you have to upskill and learn new things. But till you do that, that might come in. And moving on to the next slide. So I don't just want to scare everyone. You're in a new country, you're here to enjoy and learn and do new things. But it's more to forewarn you. So in case you have any of these difficulties, where can you get the help? The first port of call for you would be the universities. There are lots of support systems there. There's a student counseling service in a university. Most of the universities have that. There are well-being teams, and there are international student advisors there. Please do feel free to talk to them and get help from them. External support services. If you have a mental health or physical health difficulties, then please do register with a GP. All the universities have GPs, so do access them. I think you should make it a priority because everything in UK, medical, physical, mental health, any support you'll get if you go through the GP. You can get it privately as well, but still you need GP to help you. So do register with the GP. Then there are mental health helplines in case you are feeling very low, And if someone has self-harm thoughts, they can always contact the Samaritans and other services as I have put up there. The last one, but not the least, is the peer support. Do make friends, do join, there are lots of organizations. You can yourself create a cultural group in your university if you want to, and there are befriending programs as well, which you can access. Now, I'll ask a young person who has gone through, as a student, through the life here and has had some challenges, and he'll be talking to us a bit about the challenges he has. Ron, where are you? You're here. Okay. Yes.
Good evening, everybody. Thank you very much for calling me and inviting me for this. My name is Ronajit Bhuya, and like many of you, I came in as 2022 here to do my master's in piano performance, which is more towards the art side. And I came here 2 years ago, and now I'm in the same university as a fellow student. Like many of you, it's challenging for everyone to come in and face a new life here. You know, the weathers are mostly gray here. You don't know much people. But as time passes by, you get more enrolled with your course. You get more enrolled with friends. These things will fade away. So I'm sure you're not alone for this, and everybody faces it. It's completely normal. And as time passes, you'll get used to these things, and you won't have anything to be worried about. Lastly, I work as a piano teacher now in Yamaha Music London. So when you come here as students, you have a lot of opportunities for yourself to enroll in these different courses that you do. Whichever course you study, you have these internships. So work, make more friends, and enjoy your life. So you won't have any problems mentally, and it'll feel like just like another city to live on. In the last slide, I would just like to show you the contact code for Sangeet Foundation. If you ever feel problems with mental health issues, you can always contact them, and they will be more than happy to help you and guide you and take care of whatever you go through. I'm sure you've come here for a purpose, and like how I went through, I did it, so I'm sure you can as well. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Now, friends, we are coming to our star act of the evening. Before that, I just wanted to ask you how many of you have heard or seen Rohan perform live? How many? That's it? I'm sure there are many more. Not live. Okay, no, on YouTube or Instagram, on Reels. No pressure, Rohan. All right. How many of you would like Rohan Joshi to come on next? Finally, some voices. Great. That's super. Just wanted to also remind you that all our speakers that went before Rohan this evening, you can contact them later. They are waiting for you. We can break bread together, naan together later, so we can chat to all of them, speak about all these things. Some of it would, of course, be confidential if it's to do with mental health or other problems. Please feel free to stay on. I just wanted to talk about one part of your slide this evening, Doctor. We talked about social integration. And I can tell you that when High Commissioner assumed office here from Dhaka, one of his first speeches still rings in my ears, in which he spoke about making friends. Sorry, that's clearly not the way to do so. Making friends from people across India, making friends from people from different castes, creeds, religions, languages. And this evening, I'm sure a lot of you have come with your homies, your groupies, but anybody who's made a new friend this evening, exchanged an Instagram handle, you have done that? Great. Anybody at the back who's met somebody they might fancy catching up for a coffee later? Anybody at the back? So can we try that? I think that was point 3 in your slide. Social integration is just making friends, making new friends who perhaps speak a completely different language from you and eat food in a different way, but makes it more exciting. So, friends, I'm thrilled, excited to introduce to you our next performer. You already know him, the incredibly talented Rohan Joshi. He's known for his edgy and sometimes risque humor, and Rohan has captivated audiences with his unique blend of wit and charm and wisdom. However, in light of today's esteemed setting at the High Commission, I think Rohan has promised to keep things less dark and cleaner, which means we've redacted everything, and I think he's performing for about 15 seconds. So presenting Rohan Joshi.
Hello. How's everyone doing? Yes, this video will be called Desi Reacts to Thand. Like, I was not ready for this. This is why I look like Doctor Who and Sherlock Holmes had a baby. Right now, this is the most stressed I've ever been. I have 15 minutes in which I have to somehow make you laugh and also not get deported. This is really stressful because I was just here chilling with my friends last week and I got a call and I was told, oh, you know, the Indian High Commission wants to talk to you. And my first reaction was, oh no, what have I done now? I guess इन्होंने मेरा video देख लिया. Then they were like, no, they want you to inspire students to behave well. So then my reaction was, oh no, इन्होंने मेरा कोई video नहीं देखा है. Because that's the only explanation for how I ended up here. But no, it's great to be here. First of all, can we have a huge round of applause for the High Commission for just doing this? Right? This is crazy cool. Like, this as an Indian is the ultimate British experience. Hanging out in central London with 600 other Indians. Peak British experience this is. This is amazing. Can we also have a huge round of applause for all the speakers you've heard today already? We learned so many amazing things from Mr. Badial. We learned that if you email him, you can get an internship at Universal Music. From Kanishk, we learned that if you email the US president, you can get a call back. But the most inspiring thing I learned from you today, Kanishk, was that my best years of watching pornography are still ahead of me. That is the most inspiring thing that I learned today. So I loved your speech as well. I disagree with one part of it. You said that, you know, you think we know English and then you come here and you realize that the English know English. I don't think the English know English. Because there is no reason to spell it Worcestershire and then say Worcester. Like, that is an entirely pointless exercise. It makes no sense at all. I've been coming to this country for a long time. I have, like, you know, like all good Indians, I have lots of family here. You know, how many people are here in the UK for the first time? Raise your hands. Hell yes! Hell yes! Was that culture shock for you? The first time I came here, there was full culture shock for me, okay? I came here in 2002, 2003. Abhi, like, India mein sab kuch hai, right? UPI payments, this, that, whatever. That first time I took a train, they were advertising something called contactless payments on the tube. I was like, wow. I come from Mumbai, forget contactless payments. We don't have contactless travel also. अपना travel भी full body contact होता है. बॉम्बे में ट्रेन में चढ़ो तब मैं सिंगल था. स्टेशन पे उतरा फैमिली थी. Like, here was amazing. I was on the tube the other day and this guy comes and stands next to me and says sorry. I'm like, for what, bro? और पास आ जा. कुछ नहीं यार, साथ में enjoy करेंगे. Like, it's wild to me that people like they struggle like this, right? I was told that, you know, I have to tell you that you have to be responsible citizens while you're here. You have to be responsible students. You have to drink responsibly. You have to be, I'm sorry, I can't. I'm sorry, I'm doing my best, but I can't. I really can't. I'm trying. I even made notes here, right? Like, how many, you're here for the first time? How many, is this your first year here? What are you studying, ma'am? Sorry? Yeah.
I'm studying Disability Design Innovation at UCL.
You're studying, that's amazing. Round of applause. There's at least 4 words in there that weren't even offered as a course when I was in school. Like, I want to thank the Indian High Commission for letting me be here. The briefing call was the most hilarious thing in the world. It was like talking to my parents. It was exactly like talking to my parents. They were like, see, beta, be yourself. But if possible, don't. Like, that's exactly how it was. Aren't the teachers here amazing? Like, they're amazing, right? Like, I have a cousin who goes to college here. And the strangest experience of my life, because he came home from university and he's like, oh, I have this assignment. where, I have to read this book and I have to tell them my thoughts on, like, 1 second. What do you mean your teacher wants to know your thoughts? ये कैसा education system है भाई? हमारे college में तो teacher बोलता था, open your book, I will tell you your thoughts. I will tell you, don't stress about it. I have a quiz question for you, ma'am in the row behind. Do you know what the United Kingdom's national sport is? It's called queuing up. Seriously, British people will form, with the greatest of respect, they will form a line for anything. All right, there's actually a video on YouTube. You can go check this out, where these two guys just went and started a queue. Like कुछ काम नहीं था, they just started a queue और पीछे 50 लोग आ गए. Like बस आ गए for fun. I'm like, we don't even queue where we're supposed to. Like हर बोलते कि नहीं यार साथ में झुंड में जाएंगे. मजा आएगा जिसको मिला मिला. Like it'll be amazing. But I'm so thrilled to be here. Let me look at my notes. What else can I teach you? Yes. What else can I teach you? Contactless payments, ho gaya. Thoughts, ho gaya. No, it's a privilege. It's a privilege. And especially you young people, all right? Like, I'm extremely jealous of your generation. Like, deeply. I'm going to say some stuff in the next 5 minutes that's going to sound like I hate your generation. But it just comes from a place of envy. All right? Like, I hate and love and envy how much confidence y'all have straight out the gate. Right? Like, y'all are taught how to interact with each other, right? Like, this is one thing that I love. Like, I was taught that I have to teach y'all, be respectful to each other, be kind to each other. And I'm like, no, your generation already gets that. You've grown up in the age of wholesome memes, right? Right? Your parents do weird things like talk to you about your feelings. Like, how dare you? How dare you learn things like be vulnerable? Like, what gives you the right to grow up well-adjusted? Like, that shouldn't be allowed. It's amazing to me that you guys know how to deal with your feelings. Like, guys of your generation know how to talk to girls. Girls know how to talk to guys. It's so respectful. I grew up in the 90s. Our parents said, you want to learn all this stuff? Watch TV. Which means I learned all of this stuff from 90s Bollywood movies. This is why I envy your generation. No. There's a reason I'm 42 and alone. All right, there's a reason for it. All right, you guys grow up with like really beautiful content where you learn how to talk to each other. Growing up, I was taught that there are only 2 ways. Movies taught me there are 2 ways to tell a girl that you love her. First way, never tell her. Full life, keep quiet, don't say anything, watch from behind a bush. Like, just watch from behind a bush, say nothing. Watch her meet the man of her dreams, watch her get married, watch her have children, and one day, at the most inconvenient moment, jump out and take a bullet for her. And right as you're lying there, look at her and say, I love you. And then, because you are man, don't wait for her opinion, die. This is what my generation was taught. You have no idea how much further ahead you are, which is why I encourage you to continue that and be amazing, respectful people. That was the first way. Second way I was taught was honestly a little more healthy. Okay, second way said that don't mess with someone's emotions unless you are 100% sure in your heart that you love them. Unless you are 100% sure with all your heart that you love this person. And only then, when you are 100% sure that you love this person, go to their wedding and tell them over there. All right. The other thing that I want to talk to you guys about, especially people your age, is you guys need to cool down with the new lingo. All right. You guys need to cool down. All generations invent their own lingo. This is a fact. This is a science. Okay. But you guys go too fast. Every 3 weeks, there's a new word. Like when I was growing up, it was great. 10, 12 years ago, like literally 2010 में एक YOLO नाम का शब्द आया था market में. ठीक है? We challowed YOLO for 4 years. 4 years we challowed. You guys can't go 2 weeks. Right? I can't keep up. First of all, make up your mind. Oh, let him cook, very good thing. He is cooked, very bad thing. Make up your mind. You're here in the UK, speak in full sentences. What nonsense is this? UK, what is this new thing you say? Delulu? Huh? What is that? Delulu is the Solulu. Your parents paid for a UK education. Say delusion and solution at least. Delulu is the one great thing though is that even though the lingo changes, the feelings stay the same, right? Like you guys say Delulu is the only Solulu. All the older people here in the front row know in India, we were growing up, we used to have the same thing, but we used to say SL world mein rahunga main. Ghar nahi jaunga main. Same feeling, same feeling. And there's some things that you guys need to, like for example, when I was growing up, when something happened and somebody asked us, how did that happen? We would be like, Arey, Papa ke contacts hai. Right? That's what we would say. We were very honest about it. We would say, Papa ke contacts hai. Your generation is strange. When you say, how did that happen? You'll say, I manifested. I manifested it. Arey, nice BMW. Oh, thanks, I manifested. The man is Papa, but I manifested it. Like that's insane to me that that's how y'all think. I hate that your parents talk to you and communicate with you. And y'all have these healthy relationships with you. Wow, one guy in the back is like, no. They sent me here for me to be far away. But no, overall, your generation does way better. Y'all have parents that when I was growing up, there was no such thing. Like even movies these days, right? Like they show parents and kids like having heart to heart. There's cool parents nowadays in movies, no? Who say things like, hey, buddy, tumhari girlfriend kahan hai? Right? That's how they talk, right? That's how parents in movies talk now. When we were growing up, there was no movie, no show, no Indian show that showed parents just being loving to their kids. Nothing. When I was growing up, true story, there was one show on TV that showed an Indian child with two parents who communicated with him every day lovingly. You know what that show was? Jungle Book. Like the kid had to be raised by a bear and a panther to get love from his parents. So the main thing I want to tell you before I go is that I need you guys to just look to your left and right. Look at the people around you. You have come here to have one of the greatest adventures of your lives. All right. This is you are going to meet a million people. You are going to meet people, like ma'am said, of a bunch of different races, ethnicities, backgrounds that are different to you all. All I would say is, before you judge, before you decide, take it all in. Take it all in, because your perspective can change in a way that you have never seen before. Have the best time, because it'll change you as a person, and more importantly, it'll do it while your parents aren't here. Thank you guys. My name is Rohan. Also, thank you. Also, we have a little Q&A format for which I want to invite my friend Pooja from the Soho Theatre up, because we have been given a list of guidelines of things to tell you all to behave. So Pooja, all yours. All yours.
Can we have one more round of applause for Rohan Joshi? Amazing. Hi, my name is Pooja. I work at Soho Theatre, which is London's most vibrant producer of theatre, comedy, and cabaret, as demonstrated by our friend Rohan Joshi here. Did you enjoy his set? Did you enjoy his set? Okay, thank you very much. Now, for this next section, we're going to have a bit of audience participation. Ooh. Ooh. There we go. Okay, very good, very good.
As you can tell, Pooja has done this before.
I can tell that this is an audience that likes to participate, so get ready. We're about to introduce you to the pinnacle of UK culture, starting with a pub quiz.
Yes.
Who here has done a pub quiz before? There we go. Okay, a few hands, a few hands. Well, here's how it's going to work. I have a series of questions, which I am going to be asking you and Rohan.
Okay.
And the point that you have to make is to beat him at this game. Can we do that?
Like at the game, not beat me.
No.
To be clear.
No one is beating anyone.
Just to be clear.
Physically.
Yeah.
Yes.
There's very long pause.
Sorry.
Yeah, just.
Anyways, okay, so here's how it's going to work. I'm going to start with a question, and the first hand I see, as quickly as you can do it, I will call on you, and then just shout out the answer if you know it. Okay? Yeah? There we go. Okay. Question 1. This is a really hard one.
Okay.
What was the approximate exchange rate of the Indian rupee to the British pound in the early 1990s? I'm looking at you, High Commissioner.
I was too poor to check also.
Yeah, there we go.
Heck, मैंने check ही नहीं किया.
You raised your hand? 70.
70.
Wrong.
No.
Over there, purple scarf. 45, closer.
Closer.
50.
एक सेकंड, यहाँ बोली नहीं लगी है, guys. For 50. 1 million.
I feel like I'm at an auction suddenly.
Yeah.
Huh? Sorry? 11.
3-1, 31.
Okay,
Hey, that's
I
not
think
bad.
we have a winner.
Hey!
It was between 30 and 35 rupees per GBP. Very good, very good.
This is definitely a history enthusiast because you do not look like you were alive when that exchange rate was a thing. What? You came 6 years later. Arey, fantastic.
Very good, very good.
You are product of different exchange, but never mind. Never mind.
So anyways, this question about the exchange rate was just, in reference to the discussion earlier about how...
See, don't do that thing where you convert everything that you eat because otherwise, like I did it first time I came here when I realized, अच्छा 1600 रुपए की दाल. ठीक है? Literally, I was like, मैं forget bag, मैं pocket में लेके जा रहा हूँ. ठीक है? Restaurants, don't do that. You won't end up eating anything, right? That's
Yes, correct.
Correct.
Indulge a little bit.
Little bit.
Make mistakes.
Like you said, ma'am, financial responsibility doesn't mean just denying yourself things. It means just being a little smart.
Yes, being empowering. Okay, who's ready for the second question? I need to hear some response.
He is ready.
There
He
we
is
go.
ready.
He's very ready. He's very
ready.
Okay, which Indian dish is considered a national dish of the United Kingdom? Oh my God. Okay, Rohan, I think you have to choose. There's too many hands. I'm overwhelmed.
Ma'am, in the beige, this thing, you're here. Yes, yes.
Chicken tikka masala. Correct.
Round of applause. Okay, first of all, I take offense to you calling that Indian dish. It is not. We have butter chicken. We have many other. ठीक है? With the greatest of respect to this fantastic culture that has been created over here. When I first ate UK chicken tikka masala, मुझे टिक्का चिकन और मसाला तीनों से नफरत हो गई. ठीक है? Heck. But
fair point. Well, I think the moral of this question, as there will be a moral to every question you will soon discover, is that this is a country where Indian food is very accessible. So whenever you are feeling homesick, there is always a way to make the food, buy the food, eat the food that brings you closer to home. So don't forget that. Even if it's not chicken tikka masala, but that is widely available.
There's lots of great Indian food available. 100%. Yes.
Okay, question number 3. Which is the oldest underground railway in the world? It's the London Underground. So yes, correct.
Yes,
correct.
Yes.
Very good. Thank you. A more difficult question. In what year was Transport for London, also known as TfL, established?
We can go in. There you go. I'll go in and check. Yes.
Let's go in.
Yes. Okay, back there. All the way at the back now.
I'll stay on the stage.
All the way at the back. So you want to answer? Okay, go for it.
2011.
2011? Yes? No?
No?
Close? Okay, sorry. 2000. 2000. Yes.
2000.
What's your name, brother?
That is the correct answer.
Ankit Chauhan has nailed it.
Ankit Chauhan. Correct answer. Very good.
Answer.
There were some guesses of 16th century, 18th century, but no. TfL, the Transport for
16th
London.
century.
was
Okay,
the-
relax. Let's all relax. Okay, horses for London was not a thing. Right.
Correct. It was officially established in 2000.
Okay.
Very good. Okay.
Next question.
You're
nailing this.
You're nailing this. Who is the 7th biggest non-military employer in the entire world?
Karan Johar. Sorry, never not. I will go here. Yes. Does anybody want to answer? 7th largest non-military employer in the world.
In the entire world.
I think you can guess from Pooja's line of questioning that everything is UK related. Yes.
That is true.
Indian Railways.
Is it the Indian Railways?
It is not the Indian
It is
Railways.
not the Indian Railways. Seventh largest. Yes.
Seventh.
Yes. NHS.
Correct! It is the NHS.
Ninad.
Yes.
Ninad has nailed it. It is the NHS.
You have nailed it.
Yes.
And your prize for guessing that answer is knowing that we all have access to the NHS, and it will be in your favor to figure out the system sooner rather than later. Because we all know that it's very easy to just go home, get all your checks done, buy all your medicines, but actually you will be all the more grateful if you figure out the system, because it's here for you, you know, and you have access to this amazing, brilliant thing that exists in this country. Yes.
Next.
Okay. Do I have any theater lovers in the audience? Okay, there's some woos. You never get woos for that. Okay. If Shakespeare were alive today and used the function turnitin.com, have you used turnitin.com? Okay, very good. So if Shakespeare were alive today and used turnitin.com, what would be the likely reason for high similarity scores on his work? Oh, hand up already. Yes. Christopher Marlowe. No, that is the wrong answer. This is actually
I feel like he has the rightish idea.
This
Yes.
is actually a multiple choice question. So I was about to read 3 answers, but if anyone wants to guess it without the 3 answers, be my guest. So A, extensive collaboration. B, common phrases and tropes of his time. Or C, lazy writing. Lazy writing. Oh my God. Speaking out against Shakespeare.
It's B.
It is B. Correct.
Because of the Elizabethan style of writing.
Exactly.
Look
Well
at him
done.
dropping knowledge on you straight up.
I know. What's your name?
My name is Rahul Singh.
Rahul Singh. Thank you, Rahul Singh.
How amazing would it have been? Like, my name is William Shakespeare.
Exactly.
How amazing would that have been?
Okay. Next question. Are we ready? Okay. The catch and release strategy is a tactic used for which non-violent crime that is very common on crowded streets in London?
Dating me. No.
Hand, yes?
Hand. Phone snatching, says sir. Yes.
Yes, very close. I mean, it was pickpocketing of any kind.
What is your name, sir?
Varun.
Varun, have you had a phone snatched or stolen?
Not here, but in Bangalore.
I knew it because
खाली फोकट लंदन में बैठे Bangalore catching strays.
I knew it because I had my phone snatched. So therefore, be careful.
You had your phone snatched. That's just
And
amazing.
I would just like to say
That's-
that this device right here is excellent, because if someone tries to steal my phone, I'm coming with it.
Yes. And Pooja will be selling those outside at £5 a pop.
Yes, it's my side business. No. Okay. Which London borough is known for its vibrant nightlife and is a popular destination for date nights?
One guy who's been on a date has raised his hand. Hell yes. Tell us your name and then the answer.
My name is Arush, and the answer is Soho.
Correct, Arush. The answer is Soho. And shameless plug here, but Soho Theatre is known to be a great spot for date nights. We program great comedy.
I thought he was going to be like, my name is Arush and my number is 98204.
No. Come to Soho Theatre. It's a great date night. Okay. And I'm also using this question to kind of talk about some of the subjects that Rohan brought up earlier about dating. London is a big city. The dating scene here is going to look very different from what it did in India. So it's a time to kind of be mindful, think of the ways in which you want to reach across the aisle, meet new people. Rohan, did you have something to add?
Yes, which is just basically always, when you're going on a date, right, always assume that the person you're going on a date with is a cat and not a dog.
Yes.
Which is that they might or might not want you to put your arm around them. All right, unlike a dog, which always wants you. So they might not, and be careful, because if you do it wrong, you will get scratched.
Yes.
And you deserve it. So I guess that is what I'm trying to say, 100%.
Yes. Number 1 dating advice, everyone is a cat. There we go. Great. All right, these are the last few questions. Woohoo. In 2018, which UK city appointed a loneliness minister to address social isolation?
Which UK city?
We have an answer
we have
over here.
which oh.
London.
Correct.
Oh.
Kavya.
Kavya. Thank you, Kavya. Yes.
Loneliness Ministry. Cool.
Yes, minister.
Can I get the number? Never mind.
Oh, you.
Never mind. Never mind.
But that is just to say that clearly London can be a very lonely city.
Yes.
And it's not the only city in the UK that can feel incredibly lonely. And it is a problem that everyone is aware of and trying to solve on a mass scale. But it can be especially lonely if you've just come here. So.
And if you are feeling lonely, my only advice as somebody who has suffered from all kinds of mental health nonsense is sometimes when you feel lonely, you also feel trapped and like you don't want to reach out to anybody or that you can't reach out to anybody because, you know, we all have that thing of, oh, I'm going to be a bother. I'm going to be, you know what? It would be more of a bother if we lost you to loneliness. So just reach out. All right, just reach out to a friend, reach out to somebody you're not even sure of. Worst case, what will they say? Don't bug me, but just reach out. Just reach out, just do it. You'd be surprised at the connections you can form. Nobody needs to be lonely as a student. And if you find somebody, look, because as a student, you might be extroverted. You might find introverts around you. My biggest request to all of you as the extroverted students is if you find an introvert, take them under your wing. Take them under your little extroverted wing. Arush, you know, take them, want to dates pe, thoda, if possible. But yeah, overall, just, you know, find a home, find a friend. It makes life amazing.
Final question. What percentage of adults in the UK have officially reported feeling lonely?
Percentage question. Yes, sir. What is your name, sir? Ninad. Arey, Ninad. Do Ninad. Too good. He said 35%.
35? Nope.
Higher, lower?
Higher.
Higher.
Did someone say? I heard 75. Again, it feels like an auction for loneliness, which is.
Is it 27? Because I read this somewhere, I think.
27 is not the statistic I have. 65. Someone says 65. I think I heard someone say
75.
75. Yes. 85. I heard someone say 50. At some point, you said 50. The correct answer is 49.63. However, that is the official number of people who reported it.
I mean, that's kind of weird, right? If half the people are lonely, just meet the other half, you idiots. Like, this is basic math. This is basic math. Just do it.
Just do it.
Yeah, or move back to Mumbai, where you can't be lonely even if you want to.
And I think the point is here amongst this community, you are in Mumbai and you will never be lonely because there is enough for you to reach to.
100%. Thank you, and give a round of applause to Pooja.
Round of applause to Rohan.
And round of applause once again to the Indian High Commission for having us here. Thank you so much. This has been an incredible experience. And most of all, to all the students here, again, have the best time of your life. Make some of the best memories and have the best adventures you've ever had. And I hope you have a really safe and fun time while you do it. Good night from me. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Pooja. Thank you, Rohan, but we'll catch you again in a minute. I know a lot of us have found Rohan's stand-up this evening wonderful. We recorded it for our moments of lonely and to kind of add a bit of cheer. Can I just say that it is copyrighted. We can't upload it, and we can't afford to pay what it would cost should we be found guilty of uploading it. All right, so it's just for your private viewing pleasure. However, the Q&A with Pooja, share away, right? Is that okay? All right, thank you. We're just coming to our lucky dip winners. I just wanted to mention that, Rohan, we loved your cat metaphors this evening. I can also share that this morning, the Daily Telegraph had a piece by our High Commissioner on India's digital transformation, in which, sir, you also mentioned cats. Yes, funnily enough. So different cats. No, not the same kind of meme. But please subscribe to our channels and then maybe articles like High Commissioners, which really talk about digital literacy and how UK can benefit from the Indian model. It's really interesting and very accessible. So I'd encourage you to join us on our social media handles. And 142 of you this evening actually did join us on our handles. And they form part of our lovely ceramic bowl, from which we will choose our 4 lucky dip winners this evening. And for those who haven't joined so far, Those are all our handles. For those who prefer Instagram, for those who prefer YouTube, there's something for everybody. Please join. We're a pretty cool bunch, as you might have discovered this evening. And it's free, High Commissioner ads, and we might add in a cat meme. So may I invite the very generous Jonathan Badial, who has sponsored our merch for this evening. Jonathan, can I request you to join us on stage? And I'm not sure who has the cooler socks, Jonathan with his flamingos or Rohan with his, he wins. Rohan has said Jonathan wins. But Rohan, can you also join us on stage? And can I invite my colleague with our... How many of you followed us? Who are these 148s? Wonderful. Bated breath? Okay. Those of you who didn't follow, would you promise to do that soon? Because there are many more prizes, and Jonathan's just an email away. I hope it's the right email for you, sir. Right. All right. Bated breath. Who goes first? Rohan.
Number 87. Is that number 87? Come on up, number 87. Woohoo! 87. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And what are you studying, my friend?
I'm doing my master's in research in bioengineering at Imperial College London.
Oof. My God, so much educate.
Sharing is caring. Can I please request High Commissioner to pass on these? I know. I was just instructed otherwise.
I'll pass your hand over.
Yes. Jonathan, the next one, please.
Look at that.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Number 1.
Is number 1 here? No, that person is coming to take a photograph. Amazing. Number 1. ये टॉपर लोग ना मतलब you can take another one.
$51.
51.
51.
Mr. Nitesh, is Nitesh here? Or for that matter, anyone named Nitesh, take it. Take it and go, no problem. What? You're Nitesh? Okay, come on, you're Nitesh, done. This is amazing. You know, I don't think you guys missed the trick when the first guy came up. Not like we checked his ID. Oh, Nitesh is actually here, 51, yes. Sorry, false Nitesh. Give it up for Nitesh. $110. 110. There we go. 110 has identified themselves immediately or has realized that no one is checking ID up here. Either way, job well done. Congratulations. You manifested this. Well done. Well done. Well manifested. Congratulations. I'm going to take this as a souvenir. Done. Oh, there's one more. All yours, sir.
150. 150.
150. What? 150. Yeah, check the name. Wait. What? Higher 150 and 151. Yeah, 150. Yeah. No. Is that 151? Oh, you're 151. Guys, it's merch, not IIT. Relax. Get over yourselves. This is why hall tickets are checked 4 times. I think the fair way to do this is make them fight for it. No, I'm kidding. Sorry. Okay, done. Well, thank you. There we go.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much, Jonathan. Thank you, sir. Thank you, Rohan. Rohan, I mean, you've given us so much this evening. I can only offer back. The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy says 42 is the ultimate question of life and the universe and everything. So now you know that. It's complete. And we go on to our next round of Lucky Dip, which is all 600 plus of you this evening. So it's not just the ones who haven't yet joined our social media handles. And may I invite our Deputy High Commissioner, Mr. Sujit Ghosh, and my colleagues. And the prizes this evening are very exciting merch from Rajasthan Royals. Original signed merch.
$504. No. 504 is the number. There are 600 of you here. Anybody? 504.
Number 504. Who's that? Hello, come on up. The fake 504s? No, fake. You've been outed. Right. So do you want to tell her? The next possible winner, DHC is picking out a chit. Hold your breath.
161.
Who's 161? 161?
Okay.
We'll go on to the next one.
If 161 is not working, can we go for 116? Anybody 116, please?
Round of applause, guys.
So 2 more to go. This is 499. Please come over.
Come on up. Guys, we do need you to clap, otherwise you look like you're very jealous, which you're not, of course, right? Are you coming up, sir? Are you?
Please come over. The last one. 3, 5, 1. 351.
351.
No? No one? 135, anybody? 135, anybody? No. 29, you are 135? Okay, congratulations. Please come over. Thank you, everybody. We still have live music to come, but I would like to thank all of you who have taken time off and the trouble to join us this evening. I would also, and this is not a formal closing statement by me, but I would also like to thank all my High Commission colleagues who have really worked hard to put all this together. So if you can put your hands together for all my colleagues. I would now hand it over to Sarah. Well, when I was, coming here on the stage, somebody said that here goes the real DHC. I believe there's a movie recently which had a real DHC, London. So I think I've done quite well. So here you see the real DHC, HCI London. Thank you.
Before we move on to Pavan Verma again regaling us with his music, it'll be nice if we could all have a huge selfie headed by High Commissioner, perhaps, if you're this way, and all of us at the back. Do you think we can manage that? Yes? So can I ask my friends here to move a little more to the center? Vineet, so आप अगर यहाँ खड़े हो जाएं. And yes, DHC was, there was Janvi Kapoor who played DHC in the movie. So, yeah.
Can I also ask Shahid, Nidhi, both from our education wing and all our Ajit, Harsh, please, Sanjay. Anybody else from the team who's here? Come please for the selfie, everybody. These are the guys you need to thank for putting this all together.
Thank you. Rohan, why don't you squeeze in? Let's get a team photo first. Get a team photo first. Don't try and be so inclusive. You know you want to. Yes. Who wants a selfie with Rohan? There's a debit card machine here. I think it's a $5 each, but he's doing it for 2 this evening. And now back to our wonderful saxophonist, Pavan Verma. And I think he's also taking requests. Okay, Pavan, we didn't discuss this, but hey, let's go with the flow. sorry, Pavan, I did the cardinal sin of interrupting an artist, but I just wanted to say that we have lots of refreshments, lots more food and drink. So please help yourself, and back to Pavan. Sorry about that, Pavan, back to your music, but please don't forget to help yourself to a dinner with us. Thank you.
Navi Lahoria production.
ਅੱਖ ਲੱਗ ਲੱਗਣੋਂ ਹਟਾ ਗਈ ਅੱਖ ਨੀ ਵੇਖਣੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਕੋਈ ਕੱਖ ਨੀ ਅੱਖ ਲੱਗ ਲੱਗਣੋਂ ਹਟਾ ਗਈ ਅੱਖ ਨੀ ਵੇਖਣੀ ਤੇਰੀ ਦੇ ਅੱਗੇ ਕੋਈ ਕੱਖ ਨੀ ਨੀਂਦਰਾਂ ਨਾ ਆਉਣ ਦੇ ਸੀ ਰੀਜ਼ਨ ਬਤੇਰੇ ਗੱਲ ਦਿਲ ਦੀ ਐ ਨੰਬਰਾਂ ਚੋਂ ਵੰਨ ਬਈਏ ਮਾਪਿਆਂ ਦੀ ਅੱਖ ਦਾ ਨੀ ਤਾਰਾ ਗੱਭਰੂ ਬੋਲਿਆ ਤੂੰ ਇੱਕ ਜਨ